Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ashley, the founder of Simplistic. I am a holistic nutritionist and women's hormones expert, and today we're going to be talking about a really popular question I get asked about a lot, and that is circadian rhythm as a new mom. So this one's going to be like, okay, you know, this isn't as complicated as it seems. There's a ton of science to back the things that I'm going to talk about, but none of it was new information for me. It's pretty intuitive, and if we are willing to step aside and just allow our intuition and our just God-given abilities to lead us, we will make the right choices for our health. But I understand that a lot of those have been taken from us, maybe blocked from us. Maybe our judgment is clouded from different chemicals and toxins and hormone imbalances in the body. So that's why I'm here to help you today figure out how to optimize your circadian rhythm as a new mom. There are 3 key points I want to talk about in this video, and I'll break them down. But the first one is light, dark, and activity, and you'll know more about what those mean here in just a second. So every single study, every single research paper that I was looking at, every control versus test group, they were all the same thing. Moms are normally leaning more towards a circadian disruption or even like that postpartum depression when they are having synthetic light at night, artificial light at night. They aren't getting enough natural light in the daytime, and their activity levels are being thrown off because they're maybe tired from a newborn, or they're not getting as much sleep, or their body's just tired from giving birth. And so what I mean by this is every time your child wakes up to nurse in the night, you can, there's a few different ways. If you're co-sleeping with your baby, which is something that we do and we really stand behind, that's what's biologically appropriate. You are going to have a more restful night because the baby's right there beside you. And even if you're not comfortable with having them in the bed with you, getting the baby as close to you as possible in a bassinet and a little carrier touch the bed or whatever it may be, that is going to really support both of your sleep cycles because that's the way that God designed it to be. Now, when you wake up in the middle of the night to nurse them, you want to make sure, or if you're giving them a bottle, whatever it may be, you want to make sure that you're not getting on your phone, you're not turning on the TV, you're not turning on the light, you're not turning on even a night light. If you're going to use any kind of light, you're going to want it to be a dim red light. We know that that doesn't mess up with the melatonin production in the night, but we don't know much about what it does to cortisol production. But for now, we can at least say that's not going to mess up with melatonin production while we are trying to sleep. You can even use a candle if you want. That's a pretty low Kelvin light that's going to be supportive while you're trying to help your baby find your boob in the night. Another thing that's really important is that in the day, so we need to be getting enough sunlight in the day. So when we're in our house, yes, there's natural light coming in my home right now. But if we're not outside where the sun is actively shining down, even if it's cloudy, even if it's raining, we're not getting a high enough lux, a high enough brightness of light to give our circadian rhythm and our hormones what it needs. If we have a roof over our head, that's blocking that light. So yes, we're getting some light, but what the studies are showing is that 80% of new babies and new moms are spending so little time out in that over 100 Kelvin or 100 lux light that it's not optimizing their circadian rhythm it's created to do. Another important factor here is activity. And so I mentioned that before, and you're maybe like, what does that even mean? So when it is daytime, we are designed to be active. Our hormones are pumping, our thyroid is pumping, our body temperature is up. We are meant to be active creatures in the day. And so when we are napping all day or we are just sitting around the house, that actually negatively impacts our sleep at night because we never had much of an energy expenditure in the day. And so we have lessened sleep quality at night. And I know this is a cycle. I'm sleeping because I'm tired because I didn't sleep at night. You can do things like I've mentioned, these first 2 things, to support your sleep and your circadian rhythm at night. And this in turn is going to support the circadian rhythm of your baby. We could go really into depth here, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Your circadian rhythm, if you are nursing your child, affects your baby's circadian rhythm. Your milk is a circadian rhythm food for your child, but an optimal mom circadian rhythm is going to mean an optimal child circadian rhythm because your milk is going to be optimum. So a mom can actually have circadian mismatched milk and give that to her child, and that can cause wakefulness when it shouldn't, and that can cause sleepiness when it shouldn't. So we want to make sure that we are supporting our circadian rhythms best we can by getting outside in the day, being in the dark at night, being active in the day, being restful at night, and that's going to help our breast milk to be circadian matched, and that's going to help our baby to be circadian matched. And that's when our breast milk at night has more melatonin and tryptophan in it, whereas in the daytime it has more cortisol and it has more tyrosine and even immune factors. It's a really, really fascinating thing when you look at the circadian match and perfection of breast milk and what it can deliver to our babies. It's also really cool to note that healthy moms, so a well-balanced, replenished and just nourished mom, was able to normalize her melatonin levels within 12 weeks. So that is only 3 months postpartum is that when we should be regularizing. We should be normalizing and getting a regular melatonin level. That doesn't mean you're going to go back to the sleep you had before a child at all. That is not what I'm saying. But that means you're going to be at a pretty baseline of melatonin for yourself so you can get adequate sleep and your baby can also have adequate sleep. It's another important note that moms that have a more nighttime focused. So basically, if you're a more nighttime focused mom and you're not going to bed until around 11:30 at night, those moms have a higher rate of manic episodes, depression, postpartum depression, and even mismatched circadian rhythm. So it's really important that you're getting to bed between that 8 and 10 window. And if you're a night owl, I'm so sorry. We're not designed to be night owls. It's just really important that you get in bed, settle down between that 8 and 10 so you can really balance your hormones and you can have optimal sleep. The really cool thing about our circadian rhythm, so our biological master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, is found in a part of our brain, in the hypothalamus. And it requires that it's reset every day. It has a little bit over a 24-hour cycle, which is why it requires that it's reset every day. Because if not, that little bit over, that 15 minutes over each time would compile, and then all of a sudden we'd be trying to sleep in the day and be awake at night. Does that make sense? So basically, it requires these diurnal changes. It requires the temperature changes. It requires, but most specifically, the light to dark changes throughout the day to reset it so we can make sure that our digestion's optimal, that our sleep is optimal, and that our child's sleep is optimal. Now, if you are a mom and you're tired, I get you. There are a few things that we can do, like I've said in this video, making sure that we get the optimal daylight time in, making sure that we are eliminating any artificial lights at night, and that we are being plenty active in the day. There are additional things we can do. Ask your husband, your friend, your mom, your partner, ask them for help. Ask them to make breakfast in the morning before they head out. Ask them to maybe pack you a lunch when they pack their lunch. Ask them to change the baby's diaper before they go. See if your mom or your friend or your grandma can come and help you, teach you a few things. Be with friends that can help you optimize patterns of doing laundry and be more active based in the mornings versus the later in the afternoon when you're going to be more tired. You can bring that baby in closer. That is going to do a lot for you. Bringing that baby closer to you is just such a gift, and it's just the way that it's designed to be. You can also obviously watch your diet, make sure that you're eating a supportive diet so the baby's not colicky or having any additional things that are going to cause sleep distress. You can make sure that you're sleeping in a completely dark room, and then make sure that your room is that nice 68-degree temperature. So focus on the light, focus on the activity, focus on the seasonal patterns of what is going on around you, because if we give our bodies what they are designed to have, we are well. Take it from me, someone who was not well at all, very, very much so struggling, to someone who's now very well and nourished just from nature. We don't have to spend a ton of money on things, on courses, on programs, on books. If we just pay attention what's going on outside, we can do a lot for our health. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them below, and I will see you in the next video.